Good afternoon, I'm Wendy Petrie and this is your afternoon news fix for Thursday, the 11th of June. The Police Minister says he's been clear about expectations of standards and integrity after 3 police staff have been charged with possessing objectionable material. Each faces multiple counts after a rapid review of police information security controls. Senior political reporter Azaria Howell has more.
The probe came out of the scandal surrounding disgraced Deputy Police Commissioner Jevon McSkimming, who pleaded guilty to possessing child exploitation and bestiality content. Police Minister Mark Mitchell says he can't comment on matters before the court, but supports actions to ensure standards are met.
Labour's leader says it's not good enough to say we'll give climate targets a go. Treasury's predicted New Zealand could have to pay about $5 billion in overseas carbon credits if we don't honour our 2030 emissions target. Chris Luxon says they'll try, but either way won't be spending that. But Chris Hipkins says not reaching the target or refusing to pay if we can't could jeopardise trade agreements.
The government can't just shrug their shoulders and say, well, we might not hit the target and we're not going to do anything about it, because there'll be consequences for our exporters.
Nervousness 2 days before SpaceX goes public. The share market debut of Elon Musk's rocket satellite and data centre company will be one of the most watched in years. Sellers estimate the shares could land on roughly 3 trillion New Zealand dollars. But Forsyth's Bar, Aaron Ibbotson, says it won't be included in the S&P 500.
Suddenly people are a little bit, is there going to be enough demand? Because for sure there will be some people who've held it for a long time. Maybe just engineers at SpaceX who's now worth hundreds of millions of dollars who want to sell their stock. So there needs to be some buyers for that.
A health expert says the rural health force will rise if medical school students do placements in small provincial communities. It's been announced clinical placements for Waikato Medical School will primarily be offered in the regional areas in the central North Island and Upper South. The Health Minister expects this to act as a pathway for doctors to stay and work in the regions. Otago University Professor Dr. Gary Nixon says students get a lot out of working in truly rural communities, not just regional cities.
And it's exactly the placements in those communities that are most likely to result in students eventually entering rural practice.
A warning over illicit tobacco sales. A damning report commissioned by tobacco companies has found more than a third of tobacco consumed last year was illegal. The FTI consulting study also found legal consumption dropped by 17.2%. Retail NZ's Carolyn Young is urging swift government action.
How can we get some changes to ensure that we don't land in a situation where organised crime is controlling illicit tobacco?
To sport now, and the Knicks have delivered the greatest comeback in NBA playoff history, beating the Spurs 107-106 in New York after being down 29 points. Mystics assistant coach Rob Wright has pleaded for the future of the ANZ Premiership to be determined so players and team personnel can have certainty around their livelihoods. And coach Andrew Webster sympathises with former Warriors Kane Evans for battling with his sexual identity and is adamant Warriors players needn't hide who they are. I'm Wendy Petrie. That's your latest news fix. We'll be back with the next update tomorrow morning from the Newstalk ZB newsroom.